Hey everyone, it's Saoirse, and today I've turned you around in my living room. We're looking at the opposite wall from where we're normally looking. A little trippy, isn't it? I'm going to talk to you about a short story today, so this won't be a long video. This is Fox 8 by George Saunders. And I have to say, I did not know about George Saunders before my master's degree in creative writing, and they had us read two stories by him, Sticks and Puppy. And I was so deeply affected by those stories and impressed that I wanted to read everything he'd written, and I could not find any of his books anywhere. My local stores didn't have them, and when I was in Denver, Colorado last week, I found 3 things by him that I wanted, so I'll show you in a minute my little haul from this particular bookstore. But yeah, he's the kind of writer that really, encourages me because it inspires me to write. Like, his writing is so different and like straightforward in the way that we think. I don't know how to explain it. You've just got to read it. It's so accessible. I read it really quickly. But yeah, so he encourages me because it's inspiring to see writing like that, but at the same time it wildly discourages me because it's the kind of writing where you're like, oh, I guess I'll give up then, because how am I going to do better than this? And I know doing better than this is not the right mindset to have as a writer, but oh, it can just be frustrating sometimes. Anyway, this was published in 2013, and I'm a fan of a short story getting its own little book. Because this is only, how many pages? 49? It's very short, and you know, there's illustrations in there as well. Who is the illustrator? Oh, illustrated by Chelsea Cardinal. Okay, so I'll read you the little flap here. It says, Fox 8 is vintage George Saunders, a darkly comic fable about the unintended consequences of our quest to tame the natural world. Fox 8 has always been known as the daydreamer in his pack, the one his fellow foxes regard with a knowing snort and a roll of the eyes. That is, until he develops a unique skill. He teaches himself to speak human by hiding in the bushes outside a house and listening to children's bedtime stories. The power of language fuels his abundant curiosity about people, even after danger arrives in the form of a new shopping mall that cuts off his food supply, sending Fox 8 on a harrowing quest to help save his pack. Told with his distinctive blend of humor and pathos, Fox 8 showcases the extraordinary imaginative talents of George Saunders, whom the New York Times called the writer for our time. So my question is, why have I not heard anybody outside of my degree talk about George Saunders? And he teaches, is it creative writing? Yeah, teaches in a creative writing program at Syracuse University, and I'm just like, I can't imagine having been through a creative writing master's program. I can't imagine having him as one of my teachers. I would be so intimidated. But at the same time, like, really excited. Like, I think Jamaica Kincaid also taught or teaches, and it just blows me away that, like, my favorite writers teach, and there are people out there lucky enough to be taught by them. Anyway. I'll just read you a couple things in here. It's so short and I don't want to read the whole thing, but what you have to understand is that the spelling and the language in here is so unique. Like, just get a little look at some of those words. So when I read it out loud, it's not going to sound as funny or entertaining as it does when you're looking at it, because the spelling is so creative. So I'll just read the first little page here. Dear reader, first may I say sorry for any words I spell wrong, because I am a fox, so don't write or spell perfect. But here's how I learned to write and spell as good as I do. One day, walking near one of your human houses, smelling all the interest with snout, I heard from inside the most amazing sound. Turns out what that sound was the human voice making words. They sounded great. They sounded like pretty music. I listened to those music words until the sun went down, when all of a sudden I was like, Fox 8, Crazy nut, when sun goes down, world goes dark. Skedaddle home, or else there can be danger. It's kind of hard to read because it's like some of the words you can't, it takes you a minute to figure out what he means. My favorite is, he says, was like, W-O-S-L-I-K-E, to mean said, I was like. So it's like, it's so cute, and you're just loving this fox's interior dialogue, and then of course, spoiler alert, it does get really tragic. And it's doing exactly what it says here, the consequences of our quest to tame the natural world. We're taking away the habitats of animals who rely on these places to get food, to have shelter, and then they don't know that people are evil, that a lot of people are evil and don't care about them. They don't know that. And so you see this fox and his friend going to the mall that the humans built, and they're all excited about it, and it just ends horribly. But then, you know, the moral is, or the main idea, the fox is writing this for humans, and I'll just read you like the last sentence here. You can skip a few seconds if you don't want to know. But he says, if you humans would take one bit of advice from a mere fox, by now I know that you humans like your stories to end happy. If you want your stories to end happy, try being nicer. I await your answer. Fox 8. It's just so sad because he's so fascinated with humans and their stories, and then he finds out that they can be pretty bad and have no regard for other life. And I just love this. I love this narrator, and it's the kind of narrator that I guess it really wouldn't work for a full-length novel, so it's great in a short story format, because that kind of writing style, it would get old after a long time. And I think George Saunders knows like precisely when to end a story. I'm just gonna read one more little bit here that's cute. So the fox is talking about how he heard a story when he was listening to the humans reading to their kids. He said, what I heard was a story, but a false and even mean one. In that story was a fox. But guess what the fox was? Sly. Yes, truly. He tricked a chicken. He lured this plump chicken away from its hen house, claiming there is some feed in a stump. We do not trick chickens. We are very open and honest with chickens. With chickens, we have a super fair deal, which is they make the eggs, we take the eggs, they make more eggs. And sometimes may even eat a live chicken, should that chicken consent to be eaten by us through failing to run away upon our approach, after she has been looking for feed in a stump. Not sly at all, very straightforward. That story was also false, due to the main chicken is wearing glasses, which chickens that I know of do not wear glasses. I do not think this is because all chickens see great. I think it is because chickens do not even know when they don't see great, due to, although I have the highest respect for chickens, loving their eggs, they are perchance not the brightest. But chickens wearing glasses was not the only false story I heard. Like, I heard stories about bears, in which bears are always sleeping and nice and loving. Believe me, as someone often chased by bears, never was a bear chasing me, 1 asleep, or 2 nice, and 3 loving. You should hear the many not nice things a bear is saying, in Bear, as he is chasing you, as luckily you slide into your den, just in the knack of time, and try not to start crying in front of your other foxes. I think that's so cute. Oh, just like one more little paragraph. And in terms of owls, owls are wise. Don't make me laugh. Once an owl nipped Fox 6 quite cruel on his neck just because Fox 6 was saying a friendly greeting to the baby owls with his snout. So precious, and it's so sad. Definitely recommend, and recommend George Saunders in general. So let me show you what I got from this bookstore. So it's called The Tattered Cover in Denver. Here's the bag. And this place was just like a wonderland. I have to show you. Here's me being very excited. Come on, phone. In the bookstore with my little purchases. So in that bag, I had Fox 8, and then this is Civil War Land in Bad Decline, Stories and a Novella. by George Saunders. Just the fact that I could find him at all and find more than one thing by him at a bookstore was so exciting. And this is what I'm currently reading, 10th of December by George Saunders. And this is short stories. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stories. And I'm on the 8th. I can't wait to talk about this. This is the one where I'm just like, I guess I give up. Because this is ridiculous. It's so good. It's so different. Like, his writing style is so different. You really think you've seen it all if you read a lot, but you have not seen it all. I know I'm talking fast. I'm like going nuts over here. Excuse me. I also found Upstream by Mary Oliver. I've been like slowly getting into her lately, and I bought her one of her collections of poetry. And I'm excited to read all of that and talk about it. And this is selected essays, and it just seems really beautiful because I love the way she writes about nature. And then also while I was there, I just got a tattered cover sticker. They give you a little bookmark when you check out. It says, "Books are humanity in print." And I also got these teeny tiny little stickers. Check this out. Can you see these are kitties? And, well, there's some puppies on there too. And then this one is like little tiny Disney stickers, which I just think are so cute. And when I buy stickers, I don't really know 100% what I'm gonna do with them, but I always think these will have a purpose. And it will be a good purpose. So, that's it for today. That was a quick one. I am just loving 10th of December and feeling more inspired, discouraged and inspired at the same time to work on my writing. It's hard to read something like a George Saunders story and not want to go off and try and replicate it, and that's the thing, like when you read great writers, you just want to copy them, but you can't do that. Don't do that. But definitely be inspired by their style if you want to. I find it can be helpful to like take a passage from something you really like and try to write it like a completely different story, but using the same structure, even sentence by sentence. Just rewrite it with a different story, but in the style of that writer that you like, and then as time goes on you can become better at sort of cultivating your own style, or at least I hope so. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.